Good morning or good evening, Sparkle World. It is Monday Mentoring, and today we are talking about build it, measure it, optimize it. And what's all that about? Well, it's about your marketing and sales strategies. But hang on in, because we're waiting for people to jump on in from all over the globe for our regular Monday mentoring, or hey, Sunday night, depending on where you are in the world. My awesome cat is here also doing the sharing out. I'm just checking on Facebook, and we are streaming out now to the whole world. So this is how Monday Mentoring works. For those who are joining us for the first time, we teach a little. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you about build it, measure it, optimize it, and why it's super important, and how frustrating it is for me because so many people give up so fast when it comes to marketing. Then we go into live Q&A. So for those who are current members of the Sparkle World, whether you're a Sparkle Clubhouse member, part of the Sales Marketing School, or you're in the Accelerator program, we open up to live Q&A. Then after that, what happens is we actually do spend a whole 2 hours together, but the first 45 minutes to hour, we're out here streaming so that you guys can get the content out in the big wide world. And then the second hour, we spend in private conversations with the rest of our members and helping them to build, measure, and optimize. Awesome. So let's get stuck into today's content. Today's content is super important because what I really want to talk to you about is stop quitting so fast, people. Honestly, I will see people come into the Sparkle World and they may build their first marketing machine. So they'll build a landing page and a sales page, and they'll get that all functioning, and then we'll have all their emails going out. Or they'll build their membership program or their course. And then they wait a couple of weeks and then they throw their hands in the air and go, it's not working. Give me a refund. It's all over with. Oh, no. It does not work that way. So I want to be 100% honest with you. Sales and marketing, or the Sales and Marketing School, or the Accelerator program is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay. If it was, everybody would be doing it. If it was so super simple, there'd be millionaires everywhere. All right. So I want to really be super honest with you when it comes to sales and marketing. Now, if we think about some of the bigger companies, say like Nike or Coca-Cola or, any of those big companies, do they have just one person working in the sales department and the marketing department? No, they have a huge amount of marketing people. They have meetings. They are surveying people. They are constantly testing, and refining. Because we first build our marketing machine, but then we have to move beyond the build and we have to start driving traffic through it. So there are various ways in which we can choose to drive traffic through our marketing machine. With that traffic now flowing through the funnel, we can see, this is our measure it phase. So thank you, my husband. He just brought my coffee. We have to drive traffic through the funnel once it's up and it's running and it's functional. This is when we find out through the measure it phase if there's any holes in the funnel. Okay. It would be oh my God, I would love to turn on a marketing funnel and it would just work. So honestly, for those that are here watching, or you want to DM me, how long do you think it takes me to build an optimized marketing funnel that I can just switch on and off? Pop it in the comments. Type it down below. Honestly, most of the time people say a couple of hours, maybe a week, at least a few months, to be totally honest with you, to get a marketing funnel working and optimized. So we start sending traffic through our funnel, and then we need to measure it after we've built it. First thing we need to do to measure is, if we're paying for ads, is our ad giving us the results we need. So we've got our ad, how many people view it to click on it to come through. That's one point at which we measure. Now they've clicked, how many people have clicked, have actually viewed the landing page. Now that result will tell us, one, if the page is loading fast enough. What if the page, say we've got 100 people clicked and only 10 people viewed the landing page? Well, to me, there's a hole. The landing page isn't loading correctly. We can then go and test what is it about the landing page that may have a bit of an issue in the load problem. Okay, now let's say those results are good. The next stage we have is, okay, now they've viewed the page. How many people are actually opting in? Now, if we're not getting the right amount of people opting in, so our conversion rate, we're looking at least over 20%, that's the bare minimum. If it's below 20%, we then have to optimize it. Why is it that they're not now clicking? And I can tell you most of the time, it's just a wording issue. We just need to change a couple of words and we can go from 5% to like 70%. And I can tell you, I've seen that happen with just a tweak of a word. Once we've tested that, and so we've optimized that section of the funnel, now we should be getting more people getting to our thank you page. Again, we're checking how many people have actually opted in to how many people have viewed the thank you page. Is that thank you page loading? Okay, we're getting a huge discrepancy between those that have opted in and those that have viewed the landing page, we know that page needs to be optimized for speed. If we're good with speed, then we need to look at how many people are actually now taking our offer on our thank you page. So generally speaking, we're usually looking for between 2 to 3% taking the offer on the thank you page. And then once they take that offer, then we need to say, okay, now if we're getting our 2 to 3% on our thank you page, what are we now getting on our in our consult? If we're going to consult, or if we're going to webinar, or if we're going to sales page, what are our views and conversions on that? So as you can see, there's many, many steps. Now that's not just a matter of turning it on and everybody flows through. We have to hit a certain number at each level of the funnel before we can make an informed decision. Think about it from a survey point of view. If you were surveying 5 people to ask them, what do they prefer, hot or cold weather? Just for example, okay? Can you say, based on 5 people, we know the average of the entire city of Melbourne who prefers hot or cold weather? You can't. We need a larger number to be able to make an informed decision. So there are certain numbers we need to hit before we've got enough data to make an informed decision. So if you've only had 5 people opt in or 10 people opt in on your landing page to get your freebie, it is not enough for me to say that you should be getting a higher 2 to 3% conversion. And what will usually happen is those first few people, they already know who you are. So you'll probably find, this happens majority of the time, you'll get quite a high conversion at the beginning when you first turn on a marketing funnel at the thank you page level, because they're people who already know you. So that is not just numbers, but time we need to be able to measure and to optimize it. So I've seen a lot of people coming into the Sparkle world and they will build it, or they won't even get finished building it. And then they start throwing their hands in the air and this isn't what I thought it was going to be. This isn't the program that I thought it was going to be. It's because they quit too fast. We used to do a month-to-month program. And honestly, we stopped it because we were doing a disservice to our clients who would come in and think that they would have results after 1 month, even 2 months. You really need a long period of time to continue to tweak and to measure. It never stops. If it was that easy, Coca-Cola and Nike would have stopped years ago with sales and marketing because we all know who they are, right? But they don't. And it's because the main things in your business to run a business as a professional, not a hobby, is you need to do marketing, you need to do sales. And the third thing is, especially if you're in a service-based business, you need to like people. You can't run a business if you don't like people. Honestly, they're your three pillars, the pillars that your business stands on, all like a tripod, three legs, take one away, everything else is going to fall over. So what I want you to do is be honest when it comes to your sales and marketing machine. You need time. So what I would like to go through with you now is what I kind of call the generational thing, where this is how I honestly, when you start to realize that your business, when you bring it online, so maybe your marketing when you weren't online was great. You had gone and you'd spoken to people and you were networking and you were doing these things face to face. That's a whole nother strategy, right? I bet you when you first started, you probably weren't even getting business cards. And then to increase your conversion, you get business cards. And then to increase your conversion after that, you start sending emails. These are, you measure them, you optimize them. Probably you didn't think about it as much as you do when it comes to building out a online marketing machine, because we can measure so many things. And business is all numbers. It all comes down to numbers. So let me talk about like why I have some clients that have signed up for 3+ years with me, because they'll spend the first year with me, they'll get fabulous results, but they realize that marketing doesn't finish there. So this is how I see you as somebody who is growing into your sales and marketing. And the cool thing is we get to earn while we learn. While there's a lot of other industries, like say a doctor might have to study for 7 years. Imagine, like, I don't want a doctor cutting me open while they're still learning. Well, nothing too serious anyway. But what we get to do is we get to, not do it well at the beginning so that we can earn while we learn. So year one is like, you between the ages of, a baby to about age 7 or so. You're just starting to walk. You're just learning to read. You're just learning to write. You're just learning to understand the numbers and how it all works. And you fall down a lot. You test lots of different things to see what it is you like, or what your audience like. And then it's like a really serious roller coaster ride in that first year. It's right up until about your teenage years, right? So that's what year one in your sales and marketing will be. What I want you to do is test between sort of 4 to 6 or 7 different types of lead generation machines, whether it's, I always start people with the most basic one, like a freebie, because it's really simple to make it downloadable. But then you can branch out into webinars and challenges and book clubs and blogging and joint ventures. There's lots of other things, but each of these are going to take time to set up. Okay, so your first year is a roller coaster of testing things. You, I hope, will find at least 1, potentially 2 of the things that you turn on that are like gold, and you can turn them on and you're going to get really good leads, and you'll still continue to optimize them over the time. So your first year is sort of newborn through to, 10, 11, 12, teenage years. Year 2, you're a teenager now. You think you know it all, but I can tell you, you don't, just like most teenagers. You now have at least a couple of things that are working okay. We're still optimizing those, and we're testing more things. We're refining your message. We're honing even closer to your niche. Great thing is you should have hit 6 figures in your first year. Now we're looking at employing, and that's a whole nother ball game. It's like, when you're a teenager, you start dating. Right? We're dating people now. We're trying to find people that suit our business and our business model. Now, this is the average. There are those that start having to hire people within the first 3 months, and some might take a bit longer, but this is on average. Okay, second year, you're starting to look at hiring people. You're testing more funnels. The roller coaster ride isn't as severe up and down. You've got lots of different, you're testing lots of other funnels, but it's not as scary as it was in the first year. You should be starting to break even now with your investments. If you haven't done so, if you're using profit first from the early days, you'll be breaking, you'll be making better money decisions, because profit first will make sure that you're making money if you do it the right way. So the second year is like that. You've now found a few more things, you're more consistent, you're getting help on board, you think you know it all, but you don't. Year 3, this is when you really start to step into your own. Now you've got some guaranteed things that are constantly bringing you revenue. You're probably close to $500,000 or going even higher than that. You are really just refining and optimizing a lot. You're still building occasionally, but most of the time now you're spent measuring and optimizing. And then maybe a couple of times a year you'll build something new. But most of the time you'll be measuring and optimizing. And you're going to be doing that for the life of your business. So don't give up so fast. I want you to remember, why is it that you started your business in the first place? What is your why? It is super important to go back to that. I can tell you numerous times I have wanted to throw in the towel, but I know that I'd be kicking myself later if I did. You need to allow time as well. Okay. It doesn't just happen like that. If it did, everyone could do it. Okay. So believe in your why and your reason. And then I need you to trust the process. So what I'm trying to do is to shortcut a lot of the learning for you by measuring and helping you optimize while you're still learning how to do that, so that you don't have to go through all the pitfalls that I went through when I started. I'm not going to tell you and say, oh, are you going to turn it on and it's going to work amazing? But I can tell you that I will be there to measure and to help you optimize. Because what we've done together is we've just built something. Now we need to discuss and consistently be having marketing meetings together. Now you have various different opportunities to join me for a chat. A little bit like, you have meetings with somebody in your department or your boss. I mean, we can't always drop the hat. Like when you join the community, you have certain days and times, and we always do so much more than the guaranteed on paper times. You need to show up. You need to keep coming. Even if you don't know what questions you want to ask, come. I can usually figure out a question to ask you, to measure something, to give you a suggestion, to help you to continuously improve your sales and marketing strategies. I'm there for you, but it's up to you to turn up. I can't do that for you. And I believe in you. I need you to believe in yourself and just trust the process. We've helped lots of businesses get to really great, like 7 figures, right? Because they trust the process, so that you can earn while you're learning the art of sales and marketing. And then my goal is that you can outsource and hire out some of the things that you hate to do. But you're always going to need, whether it's me or another business coach, honestly, you're always going to need to have one. Whether you choose me or somebody else, I mean, the coach of all coaches, Tony Robbins, has a coach, at least 6 at any one time. You speak to any other successful entrepreneur, they all have somebody to talk to about their numbers and their mindset. I've got 3. I have 3 coaches. And I hear from a lot of my clients is I love the fact that they love the fact that I pay for these really expensive coaches, because everything I learn, I bring back and teach it to you, because the best way to learn is to teach. So as soon as I learn something new, I bring it back. Or first I implement it, right? I build it, I measure it, I start to optimize, and I also then teach it to you guys as well once we're seeing results from the strategies that we've input. So don't give up on yourself. I believe in you, and I need you to be in it for the long game. Don't blame the process. If you haven't reached out to me, be honest with yourself. Is it because you haven't reached out? We'll have people reach out who I haven't seen for weeks or months. And if I see that we haven't seen you, we'll book you in for a chat. We'll have a one-on-one, to get you back on track, to start to remind you why it is that you do what it is that you do. And if you want to scale and you want to grow and you want to impact the world, well, hey, it's not as simple as just making pretty videos all the time. Okay, there is a strategy behind there, and let me help you help your people, because you surpassing me, making more money than me, being super huge influencer to me, that's the goal. I would like you to grow past 7 figures and no longer need me anymore. And you'll have to go hire somebody else because I'm niched into that income level, right? I want to get you from 6 to 7 figures. Once you get there, then you need somebody else. So, except my one-on-one clients. My one-on-one clients are different. I'm talking about the sales and marketing school. But that's what I want you to do. Stop believing in yourself. The sales and marketing school are for those students who have not yet hit $1 million. Hey, they might even be at 5,000 and their first number of like, oh, I can breathe again might be $10,000. And I was there once. I still remember what it's like to struggle just to get to that 5-figure month. But, once you get to about 20,000, things start to get a little easier. You can breathe a bit more. I remember back in my network marketing days, it was like this huge thing, like all the top earners were making $40,000 a month. And that was, oh my God, $40,000 a month. That's just like the start of the month now, right? That's one thing I have to say. One thing that's better about what we do compared to network marketing, 40,000 is like that first kind of freedom number. But guys, don't give up on yourself. I truly believe in you. I do. I just need you to come and talk to me. I don't know where you're struggling and when you need help if you don't ask. Hey, look, get your ass into gear. Be honest with yourself. How long since you've come to Monday mentoring? How long since you've posted questions inside the Facebook group? How long since you've sent an email with a question on how can I fix something? Be honest with yourself. Okay, the best way to get me is here, Monday mornings. Block it out in your calendar. It's kind of like, remember like when you used to work at a job and you had to turn up at a certain time? Block it out like that. You've paid for time to spend with me and my team. Utilize it. I am surprised how many people pay. Honestly, how many of you pay and then never utilize the tools? It breaks my heart. There is a certain point at which I can't do things for you. I can't make you come here, but be honest with yourself. Are you really utilizing what it is? My zone of genius. Are you utilizing it the way you should be? Then I must be doing all right. I've worked with people like Amy Porterfield and Shalene Johnson. I'm actually working currently with Shalene Johnson. I'm well known in my industry for the results that I get clients. So trust the process. I know I'm going on and on and on, but we get this kind of every 3 months. We get a group of people that have been with us that are like, oh, no, this is not the thing I wanted, but it is. It's just you're not utilizing the tools. So let's together build it. But please, please let me help you measure and optimize, because build it, that's the easy part. It's the measuring and the optimizing that takes time, and everything's a trade-off of time and money. If you spend money on ads, you will drive more traffic through it. Therefore, we can measure and optimize faster. If you're going the organic route with joint ventures or, Clubhouse or Instagram or DMing, it's going to take time because you've got to put in the effort then to drive traffic through. But come and see me. Let me help you choose a traffic source. Let me help you decide what is the best option for you to start driving traffic through your funnel. It never stops. There's always a new traffic source that we can tap into to test and measure. All right, guys. Thank you for letting me get on my soapbox a little bit this morning, because I believe in you and I just need you to believe in yourself and come and see us. All right, guys. So it is now a Q&A time. We have a couple of beautiful people that have joined us in the house. Let me go to gallery view. A few people have got cameras on. A few people have got cameras off. Let's unpin just in case. All right. Hello, lovely people. I'm going to go around the room and ask, what was your biggest takeaway from this morning's lesson? And I will start with my techie Kat. Hey, Kat, how are you this morning?
I'm good. My biggest takeaway is probably the common misconception that all you have to do is build your funnel and then it's going to work all by itself. And it's not. As you said, you've got to measure it and optimize it afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Hey, Megan, how did you pull up after boot camp? I saw you posting all over social, bragging about boot camp. So proud of you for getting through.
I am too. It's actually the hardest thing I have ever done, but I am mega stoked that I was able to do it given the challenges of this damn internet up here. But today it seems really good. So go figure.
Right.
But thank you. But my takeaways from this morning were the 3 pillars. I'm always looking for ways to enhance my business model. So I like to be different to other people. I hate doing the same old all the time. And I've actually never heard it presented as the 3 pillars. So I'm going to start playing with the visual in my personal practice model and also in my business model. So thanks, Sally. But also, it's the second reminder now that you've given in just a couple of days about the organic measures of joint ventures. And for me, joining with other people, like-minded people who have a similar audience with a bigger list than I have, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So thank you.
Yeah. It's awesome. We're actually building out a brand new joint venture system at the moment. We've got a few people lined up, but when we do joint ventures, what we do is we have all of the assets ready for the person that we're bringing in, because we want to make it as simple for them as possible. So once I map all this out and create this new joint venture system, what I'm going to do is I'll make it available to you guys. So you will be able to get in and just slightly tweak the wording. But then what we're going to do is create all the social posts, the emails, the timing of when everything's supposed to go out. And that way, when we do have people join us, they don't have to do a lot of work. It's literally copy and paste. So you want to make it simple for them, and you want to approach it from a point of view of where we're working together. It's not like you're getting into their list. It's like, how can I serve? I always go into a joint venture with, how can I serve your people?
Yeah.
You know, if there's sales and things at the end of it, that's great. But it's, what can I do? How can I tweak what I do to resonate with your people? So if I was, say, hooking up with a copywriter, like I do copywriting. It's not my passion, but I'm good at it. But I would align myself with a copywriter because that's what they love. So how would I slightly tweak my message to hit on point with their audience? So even though, you know, you want to find somebody that isn't competition, but is complementary to your business model, slightly tweak it so that you're serving to their model as well.
Yeah, you had a saying during boot camp, and it was give, and I don't remember what the last one was now.
Ask, give, ask.
Love it. Yeah.
Everything goes in 3s for me. Everything. Like one day I'm going to write a book on all the different things that I've ever done that has 3 things. Like even a tripod when I was in photography has 3 legs. But yeah, give, and then ask. And whenever I write, you saw the sales emails, the first 3, all giving emails, nothing, no ask in there. And yeah, so I mean, you're only just starting. You've just tapped into one of our marketing models, but we're going to measure and optimize and drive traffic through it. And I think for you, yeah, definitely some joint venture work. And it'd be interesting to, you know, throw $100 at ads and see what some results are. Yeah, just to see. I mean, there's a lot of things that have changed in Facebook ads recently. So there's like the new iOS update, and you can't track everything through the ads the dashboard any longer. So what Apple have done is they're gone, oh, we've got all this data, but we're going to put up a wall to Facebook. So we can't, anyone who ticks no tracking, we can only track one thing. So we can either track a page view or a lead or an initiate checkout or a purchase, where we used to be able to track everything. And that way we could continuously optimize after we'd looked at those numbers. Now we actually have to go. It reminds me of the old fashioned days of when I first started working in marketing, and Facebook didn't have all that data. And then we have to go into all the different software. So we'd have to look at Keep and Kajabi to get all our numbers, pull them together into a spreadsheet so we can then measure. It's a little bit like that again. We have to go back to that style of measuring. But yeah, I think, are you utilizing Clubhouse at all as well? Have you been?
No, because I'm not. I don't have any Apple products at all.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah. So what a lot of people have done who are on Clubhouse that are droids, okay, like you, is they go and they just get themselves a cheap iPad or a cheap iPhone so that they can get in there. It's the hottest, coldest market ever. Honestly, if I'm needing appointments, I just have to get in and serve and give and help people for like a day, and I've blocked out my next week worth of, you know, the 2 days that I open up for appointments. Just because you go in and you give, and then there are a lot of people that don't come up on stage and ask questions that are down in the audience, and so they message you because they're too scared to come up and ask, but they're good in the inbox, and then you can get them in for a conversation.
Yeah, I will investigate it, but I don't even have my car here yet, and I haven't even been to Weep to find out where the post office is.
I saw your video of you taking your drive. I caught that this morning when I was, you know, checking my phone while I was doing my makeup. So yeah, good on you. Yeah, I was a very good girl this weekend. I literally put my phone down after I finished up with the team, and I didn't look at my phone all weekend. I literally left it in my office from Friday, and I didn't get it until Sunday morning. And that was just because I knew I was spending a lot of money on ads, and I just had to see what they were doing. But even though I wanted to check them on Saturday, I was like, it's just watching paint dry. It's not going to be enough numbers for me to make an informed decision. I'm just going to be looking for the sake of looking, which is normally what I do with Facebook ads. It's like usually the first thing I look at when I wake up in the morning. But I was really good. And I went out with my mum and dad. We had family time. And I have to say, I find it hard to switch off my entrepreneurial brain. It's like there's two sides to me, and my entrepreneurial mind is constantly on, and I find it hard to switch off and just be with the family. So even though my brain went off into entrepreneurial land, I didn't have my phone. So like my husband messaged me when he was down at the track with my daughter, and I didn't know. And then he got home and he said, you didn't want to talk to me. And I said, I don't have my phone.
Well done to you.
I am really proud of myself. It's been the first time since I've literally, like, I usually will say no, but there'll be those quick sneaky checks. And it's also trusting that the team are going to, you know,
pick up on stuff.
If there's anything super important, I'm sure they'll ring me if the, you know, it'd have to be pretty dire straits, you know, if people can't get through the weekend. Now there's a few other people hiding in the background. Feel free to jump in. I would love, hey, Anne, I would love to know, what is your takeaway from this morning?
from this evening. It's
Oh,
nearly
this
10
evening.
o'clock
Yes,
at night
yes.
where I am.
Yeah, we're used to that around here. People from all over the world.
Well, my takeaway is I got into the room. Yay! I actually tried to go into another link for the sales and marketing, and then I thought, oh God, I'm in the wrong link. And then I saw a link come up. Kat, you saved me so much. I really, really appreciate it. I've been working hard today, this weekend, on getting my funnel built, and I finally, Megan, thank you so much for responding to me. You are a sweetie. Do you know what? I just didn't know where to find that flipping script for the thank you video. And it was in the workbook all along, and I had the workbook. But Kat saved my bacon as per usual in helping me out and spoon feeding me. I really appreciate it, Kat. I've sent you a load of stuff today. I hope it's all okay, but I might jump into the Vals tomorrow morning and just see where I am with it. But my main takeaway is what you've been saying, Sally, is just turn up, show up, and really invest in the process, and just, go into the Facebook group, come into these groups, and just lean into the process really, and don't be afraid to ask for help and support. So I'm getting better at doing that.
Oh, I get it. It is hard to ask, right? Because you want to feel independent, and yeah, but that's why people join these programs in the first place, is and then you would be surprised how many people come in and then forget to ask. And then they're like, but it doesn't work. And I'm like, I haven't seen you for 2 months. Where have you been? I'm not a mind reader. So I'm so glad. And I know evenings are not easy for you, but I really appreciate that you're showing up for you. So well done.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, you have to, because that's how you get the learning. And you feel it's so easy to kind of give up sometimes. And I'm not a quitter, but the IT, this is such a steep learning curve for me, and I think it is for Megan as well. We're women of a certain age where we didn't grow up with IT and tech stuff, so everything is a challenge for me, certainly. And I know Megan was sharing in her videos, but we can learn. It might take us a little bit longer, and it might be a little bit harder and a little bit more painful, but we will get there, slowly but surely.
Yeah, that's it. Just belief that you can, it's that the be, do, have model. You've just got to believe that you are that thing now. And then like a lot of people will, think that they've got to, have a certain thing. I've got to have money or have an audience or have something so that I can do a certain thing, and then I can be that person. Or they'll think I need to do all of this stuff so I can have all of this stuff, and then I can eventually be that person. But that's not how successful people think. It's like if somebody wants to be an Olympian and they want to win a gold medal, they act like they are already a gold medalist right now. They be the gold medalist, because once they are and they believe that they are that person, then you will go and do what needs to be done so that eventually you can have what you have. But as long as you're being that person today, you're always a success. I always sort of see that when I was like, trying to get to my first 5K month, I was already believing that I was there, because then I did everything that I needed to maintain a 5-figure month. And then, as it scales, you start to continuously be that person before you are there. And then eventually you are. But I think we'll always be learning and growing. I always say I'll be learning and learning and learning until I'm on my deathbed, and then I'll learn how to do that well too. Like life's a journey of learning and growing and building and measuring and optimizing.
Just got to get the build on first.
That's okay. That's all right. We're here to help you get through that. And then the next step will be that's where I step in. That's the sexy number phase. I've got sexy
God.
numbers to run myself this morning. So we've been spending about $1,000 a day on ads at the moment, just for testing, right? I could do $100 a day, but then it's going to take longer, but I'm still going to need those amount of numbers to get through. And it's only because I'm in a very competitive market space. So my leads can cost me anywhere between, usually in the testing phase, up to like $15, and then we slowly drop it down. So if I need a couple of 100 leads before I can make an informed decision, I've got to figure what's $15 times 200, and then how much is that going to cost me? So we've been driving traffic through the funnel since Thursday or Friday last week. So today's my measure day, so I can figure out what to optimize. It's a little scary because I know we've just turned it on. It's a brand new marketing funnel. There are going to be things that aren't working right. I know this. And so I'm going in with open eyes. I'm going in knowing they're going to be holes. But I'm excited to also look because it's sexy numbers, baby. And I don't do it to my own stuff very often. I usually have other people help because it's good to have other eyes on your things. But I'm so excited to look at them today. And I know that the results aren't great, but I'm looking forward to the optimize phase. All right. Do we have any other questions that I can help you with moving forward? Anything you're stuck on or you would like to know about? Please feel free to ask. Is there any questions submitted, Kat, in the spreadsheet? And I will check the Facebook group. Let me find the Facebook group.
Sally, I had a question. Today I signed up for the other two bits that I needed to complete the funnel, Acuity and Zapier, but I didn't know, was there a code that we had to put in for the discount from you? I went on the link that Kat gave me, but I didn't know if there was like a code or something.
No. So if you use the link, you should just get a 14-day trial.
Yeah, that's what came up. Okay, so I did do the right one then. I wasn't quite sure.
That's fine. So no, I'm looking forward to you getting all that built. It's going to be awesome. And I think you've got Kat also doing some of your build work for you as well.
Yeah. It was a challenge trying to remember all the script. It's quite a long script, isn't it? And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to leave out.
So what happens, like the more, because this is brand new, it's the first time you've ever done it. But what happens is the more that you do these, a lot of your videos will have the same dot point. So, the main dot points, like congratulations, there's a gap, here's an offer, here's the reason why, here's the, and eventually your brain, like it probably took me maybe 12 months of doing a few different lead magnets with that video in. You can kind of wing it just with the dot points because your audience and your messaging. As long as you hit those that, congratulations, and then, say to them why they're wise to choose that thing, and then move into the features and the benefits and then the gap. And then when you get to the gap, see, I don't have anything in front of me and I sort of can remember.
Absolutely.
And so it's just 9 or 10 dot points. And in the back of your mind, you just got to remember to hit all of those. And the last one's the call to action. Hit that button or sign up today or grab it quickly. It just starts to become more natural when you start practicing them for varying different lead magnets, but they've all got the same similar structure.
Yeah, I was a bit clunky, and I was conscious that I was looking down at my prompts and then coming back up again, but I'll get perfect later. The first one will be all right.
I had to get a video done recently, same thing for Kat. So we just did boot camp and Kat goes, you need to make me a video. And so I literally typed this thing up really, really fast. I had them on my screen and my eyes. I could see myself looking down because I did it in like 2 or 3 takes. So the words hadn't, like after a while I can do it without looking, but I'm like, done. Done is better than not done. Right?
Absolutely. That's what I figured.
Imperfect action, So I just sent it to her, and I can see my eyes looking down, and I'm like, if I've got time, I'll go back and do it a few more times. If I did it about 8 or 9 times, I can do it without looking. But I just wanted it done because it was like late. It was the end of a boot camp day, and I'm like, I need to get out of here. So yeah,
I did it 3 times today, and on the 4th time I said, sod it, it's okay.
Exactly.
It's good enough.
Perfect. And the thing is, when we measure, if it gets to the measure point on that page and we're not getting the conversions that we are supposed to, then we change the video. Like if it converts, doesn't matter. So just stick it in there, because there are always going to be holes in that funnel when we first turn it on. There'll be something that's not converting right. If you go back and you watch some Megan, we've got lots of ones that I can give you an example of. Is Karen Eli. So she turned on her ads and they weren't converting really well. But I'm like, just trust it. Let's keep plugging. And we kept plugging those holes. And then she was making money on her ads. And cold audience, to make money on a cold audience, usually we try to make our money back when we go to cold audience, or what's called an SLO funnel. So a self-liquidating offer. So whatever we're offering is at least paying for the ads, because our sales come in 2 or 3 months' time. Most of our clients who get to know, like, and trust us usually is between sort of the 3 to 6 month mark when they say yes. I always use the analogy, like, we are not a shiny pair of shoes. So if we saw a shiny pair of shoes on our Facebook newsfeed, we like the shoes, we buy the shoes. We don't need to make friends with the shoes. We don't need to get to know, like, and trust the shoes, right? So that's like e-commerce. E-commerce is a much quicker turnaround from see it, buy it. But as a service-based business, people first see us, and then they need to get to know, like, and trust us before. And then they've got to know, like, they've got to trust themselves, but they've got to see the evidence that what we do gives results. And then they say yes. And it's usually between the 3 to 6 month mark. So the work we do today actually affects our bank account in 3 to 6 months' time. So when I invest in ads, I know for 3 months I'm going to lose money, because I'm going to get it back in 3 to 6 months' time when those first people first start following. Now, you're going to get your jumpers, those that see you for the first time and go, yes, sign me up. You get, 2 or 3% of people that do that. That'd be really nice. And then you get your outliers, right? So Kat, 2 years before, she was stalking for 2 years before she said yes to me. We have Janet, 3 years she was stalking before she said yes to me. So you get those outliers either end, but generally speaking, it's around that 3 to 6 month mark. So just be mindful of that. I think that's another preconceived idea. People come in, I'll build a funnel and I'll make my money back in a month. You got to nurture these people for 3 to 6 months before they say yes. And if you stop showing up, somebody else is going to show up. And so when they're ready to say yes, then you're not front of mind any longer. That's why you're constantly got to be showing up. You've constantly got to be putting content out there and giving a value, because one day they will be ready. And if you're not showing up on their news feed, somebody else is, and they're going to say yes to them.
Absolutely.
I talk to friends and family, and they're like, oh, social media. Ugh. And then I say to Danny, thanks social media for our new pergola. Right?
Yeah.
We just built a new pergola because of marketing on social media. Or people who whinge about the sponsored ads. I'm like, well, thank you. We're paying for you to use social media for free, because of people like myself who pay for ads allow most people to use the platforms for free. So yeah. And what was it? My husband, we signed up to something the other day. We were booking dinner reservations to go out with my parents yesterday and he goes, just ring him. I said, I can do it here online. He says, ring him. I said, I'll ring him, but I'm about to hit the button. He goes, it's just a marketing ploy. And I said, honey, marketing pays our bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I hit that button, go, darling.
One more question before I go to bed. Megan, I'm sorry I'm hogging it. and hopefully you can ask
No,
your
that's
questions
okay.
later.
Yeah.
But because I'm a startup, Sally, I'm interested in the VA, but I'm not getting any money coming in at the moment, and I'm putting a lot out. But I absolutely recognize my weaknesses, and I want to recruit for my weaknesses. I'm not good at IT, and this whole CRM thing does my head in. But I'm just listening to you earlier on in your talk, and you said that VA, you look at hiring in the second year. Am I crazy at thinking
No,
of hiring
okay.
a VA so early when I've got no
Yeah.
money coming in?
So everything's a trade-off of time and money. Okay. So some people just don't have the money to hire and to invest in a VA. So therefore they've got to do it themselves. But then other people are fortunate enough that, they've lived a good life and they've got, like, I was redrawing money from my daughter's bank account to get the business off the ground. So you do what you've got to do. And if it's a weakness of yours and you believe that the VA is going to help you, so therefore you can do it faster, then but everything's a risk, right? Everything in business is a risk. I'm going to turn those ads on. Is this marketing funnel even going to work? So in regards to the VA, we've at least trained them in the software, so you don't have to do any of the training. If it's a money thing, maybe talk to another Sparkle sister and see if you can share a VA. I know there's a couple of them that are thinking about sharing one. And that way
I'm absolutely going to do that. I'm talking with Jackie. Sorry to jump in. Jackie and I are thinking about sharing it because there's no way in hell I could employ someone for 40 hours because I just don't have that amount of work to do. But 20 hours,
and I think,
doable.
And the good thing, when you've got a VA, you bring them into these meetings and then I give you a plan and then they can go off and build for you. But you've still got to learn, or at least come in to see me to do the strategy, because it's your business, and to, look through the numbers. Even if you don't know where they are, I'll say, click here, click there, and I'll get you to those numbers. But yeah, definitely. And then we've got a few other, like one of the people that attended boot camp last week was actually one of my one-on-one clients. I don't do many one-on-one clients. I've got a couple though, but she sent her, she's not a VA. I think she's like a COO or something like that. But she sent her because she does all the techie stuff for her. So definitely, if you want to, and you've got the capacity or the finances to do that, to save you the headache, then totally. I mean, these are business decisions for you to make. The reason why I say that, what I want to see most people do is at least feel that they can support themselves. Like, I don't want to force people to pay for something that they can't afford. But if you can afford it and you're willing to, invest in, risking the growth will happen faster, then go for it. I mean, we're here to support that as well. But I always get, I always downsell our products. Oh, you don't need that yet. Try this smaller program first. That's why I always try to say people first come into the sales and marketing school because it's a DIY, and then they'll buy the done for you package. Or if they want to do it themselves, they'll come into the accelerator program and learn how to do it themselves. And so, I think for you, that's your weakness. Give it a go. I mean, and it's only a 2-month commitment to start. So, and then after 2 months, you can make up your mind if you want to continue or not. But we just ask for a 2-month commitment to get going.
For sure.
You've got to allow time to make.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the timeline on that for getting these people kind of up and running?
All right. So we're in the interview process with them at the moment. We've got quite a few of them lined up. Once we bring them in, we want to train them for at least 8 weeks. We're going to get them certified in all of the programs. I would say it's probably, what do you reckon, Kat? 12 weeks away by the time we go through the interview process and get a few people.
I'll be making sales by then. No worries.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that they're competent before we hand them out to everybody. And we're only doing 5 at a time. So we're bringing in, we're hiring 10, knowing that not everyone stays. So we're going to hire 10 to keep 5 to hire out. And then we're going to do another round after that.
Cool.
Just because we see so many people bottlenecking themselves when you could be making content and serving clients and doing sales calls, and they can be checking emails and posting and all of that stuff. So
okay, that's really useful to know on the timeline. 3 months is great, because that'll give me time to start optimizing the sales funnel. Okay, guys, it's my bedtime. I'm going to go to beddy bye.
Well, lovely. I'm so glad you jumped in, and we'll see you next Monday. If not, we'll see you in we'll see you in the Voz probably tomorrow.
I'll pop in the morning. Just catch up with Kat to make sure she got all my bits and bobs. Megan, take care, honey. Bye, Kat. See you in the morning.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sally.
Bye.
You're welcome. All right, guys. So for everybody who is out there in the big wide world right now, we're going to end the live stream. So thank you so much for joining. If you are in the Sparkle Clubhouse, in Sales Marketing School, or in the Accelerator, we are still running. So if you're in those Facebook groups, you will be able to click on the link and be able to come on in. We're still going to continue for the next hour answering questions, looking through funnels. I'm going to probably share a few strategies. If there's not a lot of questions, I'm going to start measuring my numbers, and you can totally see what's going on there. So have a fabulous day. As always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Get at least one income producing activity done each and every day, so that when you go to bed at night, you can go, yeah, I did really well. I would have hired me today. And I'll be back same time next week, streaming live and also privately for our community members. Have a great week, everybody. And the rest of us, we're going to head over and we're going to set our daily goals, our weekly goals. So I'll check you all in there. And those that are too shy to turn on their cameras, you can now turn on your camera. All right.